so that people are finally realizing what this administration is all about.
After me, we're gonna do
the process is the punishment.
We have a duty to fight for our freedom.
And like all of you here in Minnesota, the great people of Minnesota, I will not be intimidated. I will not back down.
Love and support
I will fight
one
these
another.
baseless charges, and I will not be silent. Thank you very much.
Go!
Timing is everything, right? All right, so that was a short statement from Don Lemon. We're going to get to what an awkward transition. We're going to get to Munich in a moment, but let's talk for a second about Don Lemon and what he just said. I will not be intimidated. I will not back down. I will fight these charges. Josh, he was fighting the other group, the defendants out there who were talking to a big crowd, including protesters. Josh.
Yes, I'm sorry, Katie. I'm here. I can hear you. You got me?
All right. So Don Lemon just came out. He's going to fight these charges. He's not going to back down. He's not going to be intimidated. Tell me more.
Yeah, so he actually, if you notice, he avoided the press conference that's been going on for a while, which is something that we assumed might happen because he's not among the group of people who were being arraigned with him. He is a journalist, one of only 2 out of the 9 who were arrested as part of this whole mess. So, you know, in court today, it had all the makings of a normal, mundane court, appearance. He was there in a suit and tie with his 2 attorneys on either side, pleaded not guilty. The terms of his release were pretty standard. He's been allowed to leave court. He has to not get arrested and do all the things that courts would require. The big headline here, of course, is just this chilling effect that a lot of First Amendment advocates, a lot of journalism advocates feel like this all has on the devices that we keep. His device, his attorney said in this hearing, was seized during the arrest. They didn't know where it went. In court, the prosecutor admitted that it's actually DHS that has custody of this device, but we don't know from this court hearing. Lemon's team doesn't know what has happened to it, what they're mining from it, or importantly, why. Because, of course, this is a particular incident that the government is accusing him of somehow conspiring with the protesters who went into a church service on a Sunday morning. And he says he was just covering the event that he had found out was happening, as so many protests were happening and have been happening and is happening actually right behind me now all across the Twin Cities amid the ramp up from ICE. This happened just after the killing of Renee Good, when the protests here really were reaching a fever pitch. Katie.
Okay, so James, I will not be intimidated. I will not back down. I will fight these charges. What's next in fighting these charges?
Well, the other thing, what's next is a process. And you heard Don Lemon right at the top of the portion that we took there also say the process is the punishment. And to that point, Letitia James can relate. James Comey can relate. Mark Kelly can relate. Alyssa Slotkin can relate. Jason Crow, et cetera, et cetera. The process is the punishment is a powerful, powerful point. And to your question, what's next is going to be motion practice. Will he file a motion to dismiss on First Amendment grounds? I suspect he will. Will he file a motion to dismiss arguing that the FACE Act, that he doesn't meet the criteria, that he didn't use force, that he didn't obstruct an exit or anything like that, which is the terms that the statute under which he was charged requires. That being said, he's going to have to go through it, and that, in many respects, is kind of the point. Even if the administration loses their case, there's a chilling effect, and there is a cost imposed.
I think that's a good point, because it is expensive to hire a lawyer. It's expensive to go through your documents. It's expensive to fight anything, even if the charges are spurious and they do ultimately get dismissed. When is the first opportunity for a judge to... Remember, this was an indictment that wasn't easy for the government to secure. They had to do it twice, I believe, to get an indictment on Don Lemon. So when is the first opportunity, if this will get dismissed, for it to get dismissed? dismissed.
Well, his defense attorneys can file a motion to dismiss as soon as today, if they so choose. You heard the government, or the reporting from the scene today in the courtroom is that the government is characterizing this as a complex case. Now, that's not just an adjective. What they mean when they use that term is that the government is going to want time to develop their theory, which will draw things out, right? Time is its own element. But Don Lemon as any defendant, has a right to a speedy trial, and the defendant, to some extent, can control the chronology if they want to move it up. I suspect they'll try to do that.
Yeah, because time is money. All right, we have a better version of Don Lemon speaking to reporters. We figured out our audio issues. Let's play it.
I don't want to go to the podium.
There's sun to your left. Right here.
All right. So listen, can you guys hear me without a microphone? Yeah. Yes. Okay. So please be loud. Thank you for doing this. I appreciate it. Thank you. I wanted to say this isn't just about me. This is about all journalists, especially here in the United States. First off, I'd like to thank everyone again for their support to my colleagues, countless journalists around the world, the Lemon Nation, my family and my friends. You all have showed up for me in a real way, and I am extremely grateful for that. I feel it. For more than 30 years, I've been a journalist, and the power and protection of the First Amendment has been the underpinning of my work. The First Amendment, the freedom of the press, the bedrock of our democracy. The events before my arrest and what's happened since so that people are finally realizing what this administration is all about. The process is the punishment with them. And like all of you here in Minnesota, the great people of Minnesota, I will not be intimidated. I will not back down. I will fight these baseless charges, and I will not be silenced. Thank you very much.
You heard it right there. The process is the punishment. Again, that's what Don Lemon was saying.